Hello, you're listening to WBCR 90.3 FM Beloit. Welcome back to Beloit Circus Jams, hosted by yours truly, Julianna. And on this week of My Friends and Their Chaotic Music Tastes, we have Allison.
Hello!
One of our co-producers. Tell us what you got us for this week.
Yeah, so, in case it's never been mentioned before on air, which is a distinct possibility, we went on a road trip in January.
It's been mentioned.
Good. But, specifically, for recording an analog horror ARG series that we came up with.
What's analog horror?
It is commonly found on YouTube. It's an unconventional way to tell a story, using a lot of like found footage and things like that. Think Blair Witch Project, but really short bursts of videos. And so we kind of just traipsed out into the wilderness and recorded a bunch of fun liminal things. Julianna was an actress in it, and she did absolutely wonderfully. And these are songs that aren't going to be included in any form in the actual final product, but help me get in like the analog headspace. A lot of these I listened to while we were like planning the process leading up to the road trip.
Mm-hmm. All right, and I'd like to point out Allison was the one that led the entire project. She's underselling herself here, and also did an amazing job. The first song you have up for us is a personal favorite of yours, Dream Suite in C Major by Miracle Musical.
Yes! So each time that you've had me on the radio so far this year, I have thought of playing this, but I was like, no, I have to save it, because for my week I want to do analog horror, and this is like the first one in my mind. Apologies that it is so long, I genuinely forget how long it is.
Because it's like 3 songs in one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Alright, let's give it a listen.
Alone at the edge of a universe, humming a tune. For merely dreaming we were snow. A siren sounds like the goddess who promises endless apologies of paradise. And only she can make it right. So things are different tonight. We'll go together in flight. It's now and never, or every endeavor awaits somnambulant directives to take the helm. Believe me, darling, the stars were made for falling, like melting obelisks as tall as another d'enfants, la galaxie s'étend, jardin de l'imagination. Comblez la lacune, voler sans la lune, voir comme nous évoluons. It feels like flying, but maybe we're dying. A cosmic confluence of pyramids hologram. She knows you heard her staging music murder in line before the show began to be where I am. as we sail. Signed, yours truly, the whale. Joy, mirage's kingdom come. No one left at stake. Now that existence is on the way, let's see what we can make.
Our part is holy ending, alike and the final song. So long, so far, we will be atoning at last eternal through the past above a blinding star.
And with that abrupt ending, we're back from Dream Suite in C Major by Miracle Musical. Allison, take it away.
Yeah, so the two people in the studio currently, not including Paloma, who we love on the couch.
So Sam and I.
Yeah, we're complaining about the ending of this, and I think that they're entirely incorrect because I really like...
Go on.
Each thing is its own little, like, contained experience. So I really like this ending experience, and it makes me hooked on it, which is why, leading into the ARG part of this, I was listening to this a lot in Glasgow last year at about this time, when we were working on the story. I don't know why this song came to me so strongly. I think it was just the cold liminal opening of, like, Alone at the Edge of the Universe humming a tune, and it plays, like, the little wind effect. Gave me strong, just general analog horror vibes, and so I was able to really start getting into what I needed to write. But then it just refreshes itself so many different times that I kept getting hooked on it, and then the ending would ramp up and it would cut, and I was like, well, I have to listen to it again now, because now I need something else to listen to, because it would get me, like, into it. So I just played this on loop in my AirPod while I worked for, like, 6 or 7 hours.
And it didn't make your top song of the year.
And it didn't make my top... I think it was like 2 or 3 even, because it's just so absurdly long that wasn't that many listens.
Oh.
Because it's 7 minutes. If it were like a 3-minute song, that'd be double the listens.
That actually makes so much sense.
Right?
Yeah.
It's I don't know. That's my main analog horror connection to it, and I'm really upset it didn't make it into my final listen on the streaming service. But
did it make your top 10 at least?
It made my top 5.
Oh, okay.
It made my top 5 on both of the 2 streaming services I used, which is very telling.
Yeah.
I was shocked to discover that I never actually submitted this to be in the analog horror playlist that we created, that I drew a lot of these songs from. Mostly because this was the first one for me, so I guess I forgot.
I think, to be fair, when I asked about songs to put on the playlist, it was mainly Kale and I, and you had 2 or 3 additions, and I was like, huh. Where are the rest of them? You've been holding out on me. Now I finally get them.
This is my... I think I would put this on and listen to it like in the summer when I was working on ARG stuff. And then when this song would end, I would just put on the playlist that we created. So it was a part of the playlist in my mind because I would always play it before the playlist. This has always been the start.
Bruh. I could have made it the first time.
I completely forgot.
SMH.
I know. It did take us a fair few months. We have a Discord server for all of our different analog horror information, and one of the channels is just songs for the playlist.
my brainchild.
After about, like, it really was. And after a couple months of mostly Julianna, but a lot of Kale as well, adding in songs, I messaged, did we actually build this? And we were like, oh, no, we haven't. So then you had to compile it all.
That's fair, yeah. And then I forgot to send the link to you guys for
Which
like
was
4
great.
months. So it took a while for me to get this to you. My bad.
Yes. The main playlist was a long time coming.
Yeah. I was saying I kind of like the ending because I thought it had a song that comes after in the album. It doesn't. This is the last song in the album. It ramps up and then the album ends.
I love this album.
I do too. I just don't like this ending.
No, it keeps me hooked. I like that they're very upfront with it. They're like, you're going to finish this album and you're going to be like, what on earth? I thought this was going to keep going. And that's hilarious.
This is why you're in filmmaking. I can't explain it, but this just explains a lot.
I agree with that.
Alright, the next song you have up is I Have Considered the Lilies by Connie Converse.
Okay, I'm going to use this time to finally actually say, like, talk about the name of our analog horror. Because I just keep calling it that. It's Lily Among the Thorns, which I've probably said already, but, like, this song is... I have considered the lilies Lily Among the Thorns, so just as soon as I think I heard it for the first time after we came up with this concept, I was like, oh, I have to pay attention now. And I've been waiting ever since I found this song to share it with the group. This is also not on the playlist, but I did that one very deliberately. The first one was an accident, this one was deliberately held.
She has one that she hasn't sung.
Have you?
Well, I'd rather not try that, actually. I haven't tried enough more to do it well.
Why don't you just sing it and we won't record it?
Oh, I can do that.
I'd like to hear it again.
Let's hear how it goes.
This has a biblical text. I have considered the lilies. They never toil, they only bloom. They never feel chilly or tired or silly, and they don't need much room. I have considered the lilies. I have considered how they grow. Tell me how to be a lily, if you know. Oh, lilies toil not, neither do they spin. I'm gonna take my working papers and turn them in. I'm handing over my pencil and pen. I won't be needing my broom again. I'll bloom by day, I'll bloom by night, and blooming will be my delight. Bright tiger lily, still water lily, see how they all dilly-dally. Look at the day lily, lemon lily, calla lily, and the lovely little lilies of the valley. Oh, lilies toil not, neither do they spin. I'm gonna take my working papers and turn them in to be more splendid than Solomon. I walk around wearing the morning sun, the sun by day, the moon by night, and blooming will be my delight. It would be fun, but I'm afraid that I would freeze. King Solomon was not arrayed like one of these. So lilies, I can't afford to dilly-dally. I've got to work for my cotton, work for my denim, linen, and damask and challis. Not like the daylily, lemon lily, calla lily, and the lovely little lilies of the valley. I have considered the lilies. I have considered how they grow. Tell me how to be a lily, if you know.
That was I Have Considered the Lilies by Connie Converse. Allison, take it away.
Yeah, so you mentioned you know this song, which I feel as though I knew. Like, I knew I wasn't original to this song.
I haven't played it ever before.
Yeah.
I just know of it somehow.
Yeah. I think this just came up in, like, a recommended playlist. And it grabbed my attention for the name. I really like similar to the first song that I played, it has just, analog horror vibes to me because it's not super conventional. Like, it starts off with her just talking about, like, I don't know if I have this song down well enough to really play this song, you know. And then she's like, I'll give it a shot. Like, it's just so casual and, like, kind of lifting up the veil. I really like that part. And it stays really, like, acoustic and soft and chill, which I think I really associate with Lily Among the Thorns, just because we built it very nature-centric, which is a lot calmer than, like, some of the computer stuff that's really popular in the genre. So a lot of these songs are calmer vibes.
Mm-hmm. I think this also reminds me of other analog horrors songs-ish, because a lot of them utilize older songs because they like the twang of old technology and how it sounds. Like, my favorite analog horror, well, one of them, is the Walton Files, and in one of the episodes they use Lacrimosa, but it's distorted because it sounds like it's from an older, like, vinyl, which is really cool. They also have Heartache, which we have played on this show. I don't remember for what reason, but I know we did.
I wanted to play it and talk about it, but...
Oh, it's because it was for Halloween.
Oh, that makes perfect sense. Because we talked about,
Yeah. For this most recent Halloween. Alright, we're hilarious.
We just go in complete circles.
We really do.
Spooky, Walton Files, ARG, spooky, we're just...
Yeah, it's a fun circle.
Yeah. But this was a good, like, shake-up song for me. Because it's not the same older stuff we listened to, but it still gave me the same vibe.
Yeah. Alright, it's 7:18 here in the studio. Allison, do you have something on campus to shout out?
Oh, goodness. Already. So on March 25th, there is a luncheon with Marquise Bay, the visiting, I can't remember which. They're one of the visiting talkers that is upcoming. And this isn't their keynote. They'll be giving a keynote later. But a message was just sent out in Stew Board about it.
They're the Weisberg Chair in Human Rights and Social Justice.
Weisberg Chair, that would be it. Thank you very much. And a professor that I am very fond of, Joseph Durozier, planned this little lunch. And there was a book club attached to it, but you don't need to know anything about the book to go and just chat and meet with the Weisberg Chair in a much more casual way. It is March 25th at noon to 1:30.
Is that a Monday?
I think that's a Tuesday.
Tuesday? Okay.
Yes.
All right.
Next Tuesday.
Alright. Next song you have up for us is This Is Home by Cave Town.
Shout out to Kale. We can just play it.
Alright.
Often I'm upset that I cannot fall in love, but I guess this avoids the stress of falling out of it. Are you tired of me yet? I'm a little sick right now, but I swear when I'm ready I will fly us out of here. Cut my hair. to make you stare. I'll hide my chest and I'll figure out a way to get us out of here. Your porcelain face. I can't really think right now in this place. Has too many colors, enough to drive all of us insane. Are you dead? Sometimes I think I'm dead, 'cause I can feel ghosts and ghouls wrapping my head. But I don't wanna fall asleep just yet. Went dark. I don't know where. My pupils are, but I'll figure out a way to get us out of here. Get a load of this monster. He doesn't know how to communicate. His mind is in a different place. Will everybody please give him a little bit of space? Get a load of this train wreck. His hair's a mess and he doesn't know who he is yet. But little do we know the stars welcome him with open arms. Oh. Time is slowly tracing his face, but strangely he feels at home in this place.
That was This Is Home by Cape Town. Allison, take it away.
Yeah, I don't have a ton to say about this one. I think I found this in Glasgow as well. I was listening to just a lot of like new discovery kind of playlists, and this one came on. It gives me specifically Lily Among the Thorn vibes, just because one of the first things that we knew about the story, and like not really spoilers, but like there's a little bit of story information for all of you. One of the characters runs away from home. As like a very early plot point, and that was locked in for a very long time. And so hearing this one, I was drawn to that theme, like the whole thing about like a problem of home, and that I felt like this story really connected with that. I also know this song from Dearest Kale, who is not here today, who is a big part of the planning process, and they told me they got this song from Devon.
That checks out. Devon's a big Cape Town enjoyer.
Specifically for their dungeon character playlist.
This would be, yeah.
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 Which opened up a whole bunch of similarities between characters we've created and the Dungeons characters that I had not thought about before.
Yeah. So is it more, are you drawn more to the lyrics of this one in particular as opposed to the musician of it, or?
I think so, yeah. This one's more about the lyrics instead of the vibes, which is not the case for most of the songs on here. I think we're about to take a heavy left turn.
Yeah, that's fair. Because Cape Town is pretty hit or miss for me. I like some of their stuff, and then I don't like other of their stuff, so I don't really necessarily associate this with the ARG, but I understand it from a lyrical perspective.
I think it makes total sense to have not had this one. This one's also not on the Lily Among the Thorns main playlist.
I just added it.
Oh, well, you can unadd it.
No.
I didn't ever put it forward because it doesn't really fit.
We have Morrissey on the Lily Among the Thorns playlist. I can allow Cape Town.
We have Brady Carlisle on the Lily Among the Thorns playlist.
What's wrong with Brady Carlisle?
It's just funny.
What do you mean by that?
The range on that playlist is hilarious.
I'm gonna just put it on shuffle.
I think
honestly.
overall this 10-song list I've created has vaguely a more coherent vibe than
sure.
Our Lily Among the Thorns playlist.
Well, isn't ARG meant to be coherent?
No, and that's exactly the
There we
point.
go. There we go.
Yeah.
And neither is this radio show, so
No.
yeah, works out. Anyways, the next song is one of my personal favorites on this list, and it's "Everything in Its Right Place" by Radiohead.
This one has a good story, but I really added it just for Julianna.
Bruh. All right, well, we'll just give it a listen then. That was Everything in Its Right Place by Radiohead. Allison, take it away.
Okay, we have a story. Me, Julianna, and Kale, who is not here, tragically.
Rest in peace.
Yes. I sent Kale this set list just to make sure, plus a couple extra questions of, like, if there's anything you want me to put out there in your name, I totally can. And they were like, obviously, you have to tell the story about everything in its right place.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, we were at our first stop.
It was the first one?
It was like our first main story stop.
Oh.
It was Purgatory Chasm in, which state was that?
I think it was it New Hampshire? Let me look it up.
So? Yeah.
Bro, I even drove
This was
it.
one that Kale picked out pretty quickly and was like, I've been here before, it goes crazy, the vibes are awesome.
It's Massachusetts.
Yeah.
It's my bad.
That would explain why Kale had been there.
Yeah.
So we were going to Purgatory Chasms in Massachusetts. The way to get there is essentially just regular driving, and then you go up a fair bit into like a foresty area. As we're getting out of the foresty area into like the little parking lot, because there's only just one little parking lot in a building that was set up for the chasm area. No one else is there. It's like kind of close to golden hour, so like the sun's shining, almost orangey. The trees are all there, blowing slightly in the wind, setting a scene for you. Everything in its right place comes on as we are like finishing our drive. And as it starts its first like brrr sound, we were like, oh, oh wait, this is actually amazing. This is the perfect vibe for this place. And I think we all at once were like, at it, and you were like, I'm way ahead of you.
And I was the one driving.
Yeah, Julianna actually did the mountain driving there, which is very cool.
I like mountains.
And also probably why we were listening to Radiohead.
I think it's because we were listening to my 2024 playlist.
Oh, yeah.
Which is, I just call it my entirety of 2024. So, some lore about me is that I have a month associated with every playlist. And so, when a new month starts, I put a bunch of songs on that I like listening to for a while on there. And then whenever I find new songs I like, I add it to that one. And so it's just an easy playlist that I can put on, and it has songs I know I like. And so at the end of each year, I combine it all into an entirety of 2024 playlist. And so at one point, I was like, all right, Allison, we are on a huge road trip. It'd be so funny if we went through this 464 song playlist of mine.
It took so long, fellas. There's so many songs.
Yeah. And to be fair, this was the year of 2024, which was studying abroad, the summer I was driving a butt ton, and first semester senior year.
Yes.
Which are all pretty eventful stuff.
Yeah.
And
yeah, they were just so you were getting new songs, partially out of motivation to build your monthly up a little bit more. That like it just kept compounding.
Yeah. So everything in its right place I found in October, which was fun. It was when I was intentionally looking for more electronic music because I'd listened to a ton of folk over the summer. And so more Radiohead stuff got recommended to me, especially after my affinity for Jigsaw falling into place. And so we were at that point where we were listening through the month of October as we were driving, and then this one came on. And
we were already at October at that point?
Well, we had 2 straight days of you and I driving.
You're correct. There was somehow not enough songs in the world for the amount of driving we did.
How many musicals did we listen to?
We went through like 8, 9 musicals, something crazy like that.
Bad. It was a lot. Anyways, enough of this yappage. The next song you have up for us, if I can get to it, is Think of Me Once in a While, Take Care. By Take Care. Well, that tripped me up a little bit.
We're in we've left the realm of like vaguely normal sounding songs at this point. Lock in. Enjoy.
That was Think of Me Once in a While, Take Care, by the artist Take Care. Allison, take it away.
Yeah, I am struggling to remember when I found this song, and I have it downloaded and added only to this playlist. But I'm certain I knew this song before then, and that might just be because of you. But I can't think of. Yeah, I
think so.
Yeah.
I found this November 2023, and that semester specifically, I was really big on cranking tunes in our wood dorm. And so if this entered the rotation, people would have heard it, as opposed to other semesters. I've been trying to take it back a little bit so like other people can play music or whatever, trying to be accommodating. But
you want shared music taste? That's crazy.
Well, that's crazy. It's almost like I have a radio show for that purpose.
Whoa, hey now.
Yeah, whoa! No, this is I really like this one for ARG. I'm sure I recommended it too.
Yeah.
Because I love how ominous springs can be. Especially with this sort of thing. I specifically associate... How much can I talk about filming?
Go ahead.
Okay. We had a day where we shot in an abandoned location. And we like... We may have broken a law to get onto the property. May.
Okay,
Strong May. Strong May. Shout out our Wisconsin
Don't talk
listeners.
about that part of the filming.
That was very important to me.
In
Listen.
post, I need you to go like beep for like 30 seconds.
We'll see how I'm feeling. I didn't say where. It was in... No, okay. But... when we walked into that building, this song played in my head. This is how I felt, because I was so anxiety-ridden about what we were doing.
I was gonna bring up that exact scene like for like 2 songs away.
Bruh.
But I'm glad you brought it up now.
That's right.
That was...
This is the behind-the-scenes aspect of it.
Yeah.
Where I'm like, we want to make this horror series, but that means we have to make the horror series.
Yeah, this means we have to go into spooky locations by ourselves.
This means I have to get on my hands and knees and rip jeans on a floor I hope does not have anything dangerous on it.
Pray for no splinters.
Yeah. Ticks.
Pray for
Snakes.
no random people walking in.
Glass.
Yeah.
Cops.
You know.
Fair share.
And I think this really captures that vibe.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's very similar to the Radiohead song just because of like the one long note.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really fun. Alright, with that, I get to shout out something on campus because it is 7:39 p.m. I'm gonna shout out... What am I gonna shout out? There's nothing really happening again, which is crazy.
There's Magic Night tonight.
You're so right. I know nothing about that. Let me...
I got you.
Okay,
I got you. I'm a BISFA exec member, so I should know when Magic Night is. I believe Magic Night starts at 8 p.m. tonight. It's every other Thursday. People gather in Mothra Lounge in Wood Building, which is in the basement. Just listen for the sounds of like a bunch of people aggressively placing cards down.
Or shouting.
Or shouting.
There's shouting.
Yeah, there's usually some shouting, from what I know. I'm not a big Magic player, but we have a really strong Magic community. Every once in a while there's draft nights, which is not tonight, but you can go and chill, learn a little bit about Magic, play some Magic, whatever you feel like. It's a good vibe.
Not actual Magic, I must say. They're all just cards.
Oh yeah, the Gathering.
I was very disappointed. Alright, next song you have up, another personal favorite of mine, Who Is She by I Monster.
Oh, who is she? A misty memory, a haunting face. Is she a lost embrace? Am I in love with just a thief?
That was Who Is She by I Monster. Allison, take it away.
Yes. I was telling you while we were listening to the song. This is the exact vibe of everything we've just played. Like I think the listeners will know why this journey happened of these few songs in a row. The lyrics also just really remind me of our story. So Lily Among the Thorns is led by pretty much all women.
Yeah, we don't have dudes.
No.
If we do, they're side characters.
Yeah.
Which we're based for.
All the characters that we play, because we have Kale, you and I all play 3 vloggers. And then also...
What's up, YouTube?
Then we also have 2 female characters that we include. I'm struggling to figure out how much I should specifically say.
I understand.
We have 2 sisters as a different, like, connected storyline. So it's just absolutely full of women, and there's a lot of like distance between all of us. So the like misty memory, haunting face vibes that are in a lot of this is just really strong for all of that for me. Like I hear those lines and I'm like, I'm back in the filming. I'm back in the middle of the woods making Julianna lay on the floor.
Yeah! Okay, that was some of my favorite parts of filming though. I got to lay on snow and grass in fishnets and ripped pants. Like, it was, all my survival instincts were screaming at me, and I was like, it's fine. The car's, like, 20 feet away, I'll be okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Kale and I just standing on the sidelines being like, trying to not make you freeze to death.
Yeah, but also not getting my face.
Yes.
Yeah, because I play a couple characters, so.
So we had to get some good angles.
Yeah. A haunting face, like the song says.
See, this is why it's just so,
it works.
So fitting.
Yeah. And I added this song to the playlist because I have it for my Dungeon Characters playlist for kind of similar reasons. I think when I was talking to Allison about how one of the characters I play acts, it's a strange combination of characters I've already played.
Yeah. There was a lot of tie-over between not the vlogging character you play,
no,
but the secondary character you play.
Yeah.
The one whose face we don't see.
Yeah.
That was a lot of the same clothing and color vibes as Ray.
Yeah. Very fun. Shout out, my girl. Anyways, we still have a couple songs here, and I don't want to get too late. So the next one is A Faint Signal by Infinity Frequencies.
This is the one I was going to bring up the building with. This one is very, very liminal, very empty, dilapidated space.
You'll like it. That was A Faint Signal by Infinity Frequencies. Allison, take it away.
As soon as this song started, Julianna and I both went, oh, that's good!
It's good! You don't understand, guys. You won't understand until you see it.
It was at about this point of trying to build this playlist that I was like, I have a lot of instrumentals on here, which isn't very common for this show as far as I'm aware.
We take it. We'll take it.
Yeah, I like to bring a little bit of difference. Like I said, it gives me strong liminal space vibes. This reminds me more of the house that we mentioned previously, but I completely agree with what you said. It also matches up with Emily's Bridge, which was a very fun place. It was, Kale picked it out of one of many locations and was like, this is kind of out of the way. And I was like, actually, we have to go here.
Vermont.
Yes, it was in Vermont.
Because we got Tom and Jerry's afterwards. Ben and Jerry's. My bad, folks.
Yeah, so we drove into the middle of nowhere, Vermont, and past the Ben & Jerry's factory, which I had never been to, but apparently you and Kale both had.
Yep, at separate times.
Yes. And it was super cold. Like, it was like, that was one of the negative 12-degree days.
That was the worst day.
That was the worst day. Also pretty early in our filming.
Yeah.
We kept driving, and I had looked up online, like, what the facilities were like near it, and they were like, there's a gift shop nearish. And I was like, okay, so there should be a gift shop somewhere. And then we keep driving, and we're getting into, like, more and more desolate area, and, like, fewer things, and then it says, you've arrived, and we're, like, on this tiny little bridge, and there's just a giant, like, hill, and then, like, one person's private residence, and nothing else.
There's a river.
It's over a river. It was a very pretty location, and the bridge looked great. There was no parking lot or anything. We just kind of had to pull off into the little, like, dirt outcropping.
It was wonderful.
That was covered in snow, and try to not freeze our fingers off as we attempted to film things.
Shout out Kale who tripped. Rest in peace.
It was so cold that my gimbal that I used as a phone stabilizer, it's, like, very cool. Shout out to my parents who got it to me. You can, like, control, like, the direction of the phone. You can wiggle it all around and it'll stay, like, stable, and so that the camera's not shaky. It kept malfunctioning because it was so cold. It would just, like, randomly drop the phone and then pick it back up.
It was bad.
Which I've never experienced before. Since. That was truly crazy. But certainly in the middle of nowhere, that was a good liminal vibe.
Yep. Alright, the next song you have is Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles, which I'm very curious to hear about. Let's get a listen.
Look at all the lovely people. Look at all the lovely people. Eleanor Rigby picks up the rice in the church where a wedding has been. Lives in a dream, waits at the window, wearing the face that she keeps in a jar by the door. Who is it for? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Father Mackenzie, writing the words of a sermon that no one will hear. No one comes near. Look at him working, darning his socks in the night when there's nobody there. What does he care? All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong? Look at all the lovely people. Look at all the lovely people. Eleanor Rigby died in the church and was buried along with her name. Nobody came. Father Mackenzie wiping the dirt from his hands as he walks from the grave. No one was saved. All the lonely people. Where do they all come from? All the lonely people. Where do they all belong?
Whoa! My bad, fellas. I don't know where that came from. Oh, I have this playlist on shuffle. That was one of the worst songs I could come on after it. Oh. That was Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles with a quick interlude of Riptide by Vance Joy, which you had on.
Shout out to me, I guess.
Oh my!
That's at the very top of the playlist. That's like song number 10 or something.
Yeah, I didn't realize how quick that song ends. Anyways, Eleanor Rigby. Why on earth
Okay,
one.
I included this one in this set of 10 songs because it is on the Lily Among the Thorns playlist, and
It is.
I didn't know why.
Same here.
Kale added this one fairly recently, like while we were on the road, because it's at the bottom of the playlist.
Yeah.
And so I asked them, why did you include Eleanor Rigby by the Beatles? And this is, do you have any guesses before I reveal the reasoning?
No, I don't understand them. So what's the reasoning?
They also largely didn't understand themselves.
Bruh.
Shout out to Kale, I love them dearly. This song, it was the lyrics, is what they said. Like, they don't really know.
Duh.
Just, like, overall, the lyrics, reminded them. I'm struggling to remember the very specific words, because they told me this, like, a couple hours ago.
Mm-hmm.
But they didn't have, like, a clearly formed thought. They were just more on the lyrics in general, and its overall, like, lonely vibes.
Yeah.
Which does hypothetically fit up with the rest of the playlist. And I don't hate it being on the playlist, it's just, it was really jarring to me building this week.
Yeah.
And so this was on there specifically as a shout out to Kale.
We added this the day we were filming in that fake town thing, which was
That
fun.
would do it.
Yeah.
That was a pretty lonely space. One of the last places we went to, I think. That was in the New Jersey Pine Barrens, I believe.
Yeah.
New Jersey.
It was Jersey.
Shout out to New Jersey. Sam, do you want to lean in and say the line?
We're gonna go and blow New Jersey up.
WBCR does not sponsor the use of blowing New Jersey up. I would just like to point out.
This is a Cheap Keef reference.
Yes.
We did not particularly enjoy our time in New Jersey, and the Pine Barrens were very cool. However, because everything was snow-covered and barren because it was January, a lot of the locations we went to ended up looking, like, eerily similar, which wasn't the goal, but was a funny little, like, quirk of our journeys.
Yeah.
So the Pine Barrens ended up looking a fair amount on camera like the rest of the places we went.
Tragic.
But they did have a lovely little historical town that does give off very lonely vibes because there's nobody around, but it feels like there's supposed to be. There was one guy taking, like, a big, long camera shot
That was
there.
hype.
So it was just two fellas recording. Yeah.
All right. The next song you have up for us is the Moon Song by Bia Badubi and Oscar Lang.
I'll be there soon. It's a quiet
That was The Moon Song by Biaba Doobie and Oscar Lang. Great duo. Allison, take it away.
Yeah, this one's not on the playlist, I don't believe, and it doesn't need to be. I like the overall, like, celestial vibes of this song. We do have some, like, celestial vibes for the story building that we did. I can't give a lot away because that's spoilers.
Yeah.
But originally we were playing around with the concept of using the moon, and then I was like, a different analog series does that, so we really shouldn't.
Yeah.
So as of right now, there is no moon things included in our analog horror series. So
We're trying to be original.
It doesn't have a good home on our playlist, but celestial stuff, you know, is in there, so it kind of works.
All right, and the final song we have up is a title that is a bunch of characters that I can't really pronounce, so I'm not gonna. It ends with the numbers 2015 period 04 period 21. And it's by an artist that I also cannot name because it has a curse word in the name, but it's from the album Whatever. So if you want to find this song, I don't know, use Shazam, use Google Music thing to listen to it, or check the link in our Instagram for the playlist where we have every single song we've ever added to it. Also, in the YouTube description link. So, this is 2015, April 21st. That was 2015 04 21 from the album Whatever. Allison, take it away.
Yeah, so the title is really the biggest part of this that's analog to me. Like the random characters and the date, that's very analog horror series. Like with the confusion with the found footage aspect, like that ties in really well. The staticky vibes of this are really strong, especially because a lot of analog horror stuff is based in that analog era of like poor video quality.
Yeah. And also audio.
Yeah. So I completely understand why this works, and also it makes a very fun outro song.
It really does. Alright, that has been the conclusion of Allison's birthday week episode, which I forgot to mention at the top of this show. But thank you so much for being on. Be sure to tune in next week to WBCR for another fun week with our fun friends.